New tonight here on the Night Team, young people are getting shot and killed in Louisville in greater numbers. You're seeing that on our newscast nearly every night. But amid the violence, there are programs aimed at curbing this trend. Focus investigative reporter Paula Vassan takes us inside the Greater Galilee Church in West Louisville for a look at one of these programs.
911. I'm shot. Both been shot?
Hey, don't get shot. My nephew just got shot. I need EMS.
More and more, the calls for help are for victims too young to drive a car.
You're thinking your grandson just got shot?
Yeah.
But inside this church, in a community that's seen a rise in gun violence in recent months, 11-year-old Kyan Wakefield is focused on something else.
It's supposed to swing like up and down.
Robotics.
And I learned about the motors and how they work and turn them on, and the batteries. It helps me learn about what I want to be.
He dreams of becoming an engineer.
Work on cars, fix cars, and make them faster, customize them.
It's an escape, he says, from the anxiety he feels when he closes his eyes.
When I'm going to bed, like at nighttime, I just hear gunshots like almost every night.
He runs to the one person he feels called to protect.
I got a brother and he's 1 year old. I don't want him to like die young, so I feel like I gotta protect him.
In the past few years, he's lost 2 cousins to gun violence.
I was sad, I was really sad, but I knew I couldn't die next, so I sleep with a bat like right next to my bed.
And for 3 months, he's made this program at Greater Galilee Church a priority.
I feel like I'm about to learn something new today, like there's something else I can do, like get into something. It don't always have to be sports.
Behind the program is this man.
I'm Dr. Eric A. Johnson. I'm pastor of the Greater Galilee Church.
He grew up in Dallas, Texas, raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs.
Grew up in a situation where I didn't have anybody per se.
He attended the University of North Texas and almost didn't graduate.
I went to college thinking I'm gonna play football and flunked out, 1-point-something GPA.
Until one special person gave him some tough love.
And my Dean Sawyer said, from now on, you're gonna be in the library every day from 8 until it closes, and you're gonna write me these reports. And he turned my life around, because that's where I met Howard Thurman, that's where I met Malcolm X, that's where I met Martin Luther King.
He made a choice to focus on education.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here, he encourages these kids to make the same choice.
We challenge them every day to be better today than you were yesterday, and to prove people wrong, prove them wrong, prove them wrong.
Despite the odds.
How big of a problem has teen violence been in this community?
It's gargantuan.
Is the problem getting worse?
It seems to be.
During the pandemic, he says funding from church donors and local nonprofits for his summer and after-school programs have been cut by about 75%.
The West End churches need assistance. That's the bottom line. We have been shortchanged, we've been overlooked, we've been mistreated, we've been misdiagnosed.
He says children, lacking support at home and from the community, have often paid the price.
That's tragic. That's tragic.
Leading to too many kids picking up a gun.
And it's sad.
Too many kids getting hurt and killed.
How many more lives have to be lost for people to wake up?
Analyzing police data, we found so far this year, kids in Louisville aged 17 and younger make up nearly 17% of those killed and wounded by gun violence. It would be the highest percentage since the data started being tracked 5 years ago. And this year has already set a new record. 18 kids and teens in our city have been shot and killed in 2021. That's more than in any single year since 2017, the earliest data we have available.
They're there with the wrong person at the wrong time, and their life is taken from them due to senseless gun violence.
Police officer Tyree Williams sees that data reflected on the street every day. He's also lived it.
This is the obituary of my sister's passing for her funeral.
His sister and cousin.
He was murdered on his way to school, robbed for a pair of tennis shoes.
Just kids when they were shot to death more than 2 decades ago.
Yeah, it was a hard one for me. I still can't watch a video of my sister and hear her voice because it still hurts that bad.
But for this Louisville native,
put it up here.
That hurt
Right here.
has become his motivation.
Let's see who catches this. Uh-oh. I wanted to help the area which I grew up.
A challenge, he says, as community centers in this area struggle to stay afloat.
Kids don't have anywhere to go. That increases the rise of teens getting together and doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
When it comes to crime, are you seeing people involved getting younger?
Yes.
Those pulling the trigger, sometimes as young as 12 years old. And those wounded, he says, even younger.
8, 9 years old as a victim.
He sees weapons becoming more dangerous.
Absolutely. Yes.
What types of weapons are you seeing teens using?
A lot of high-powered rifles, a lot of handguns with extended magazines and drum magazines with high round counts.
Okay, sweetheart. I've got help on the way to you, okay? Are you holding pressure to where you're bleeding from? Okay.
For Kyan, the sounds of sirens and cries for help among those around his age may be familiar.
It makes me feel like disappointed.
But they don't determine his fate. Because on this day, inside this church, in this room, he's only thinking about one thing.
Yeah.
His future.
We're better than this, like we can do better.
For Focus, I'm Paula Bassan.